Hey people, it's Mindset Arc. I'm gonna skip all of the intros today and just gonna talk and have a quick message. Maybe not a quick message, but just expand and see how it goes. So I just finished writing an article about what to do when you feel a little bit lonely and it takes a while when there is a period when you feel lonely. So I'm gonna leave that link in the description. Maybe it will help you or at least to have someone to relate to that may help as well. So that was the cause of this article and this video was me being a little bit lonely in me being seriously lonely in a couple of days before that, in last week or so, and before as well, but especially in the last week, which triggered this concept. And then I had this lonely lifestyle that was devoted to myself for a constant period of 1 year and a half at this point, when my last relationship ended and I was off to find whatever I wanted by myself, to work on myself, to improve fully and constantly. I still was focused a lot on dating, on finding girls that I liked. Sometimes I was going to meetups, trying to have friends. Well, I succeeded in that, but realized that that wasn't really my case. Still have some of the friends that I talk with from time to time and support each other, but that's not the general point here. I guess I want to talk about these moments when it's just in your face how you are alone at the moment, when you are by yourself. For example, when you're going to some to travel somewhere, or you're going to sit in some restaurant that you wanted to try, and there is a lot of people around you, which, if you actually pay attention to that, if you are in a position that you're by yourself, or even not by yourself, even while you're with your friends or someone else, excuse me, just pay attention to that. Look around. Almost all of the people that are sitting in, maybe there are some people sitting in cafes that are working on something. That is the different thing. But usually you won't find people sitting by themselves. Maybe there are like 5% of people who sit by themselves and do something by themselves. Almost all of the people are with someone else. And that concept was a little bit strange for me since my young age, when I think that's a prevalent point of view that going to some cafes, going to some restaurants, or going to even to the cinema to watch a movie is considered as strange when you go by yourself. And I never shared that point of view, but still, I was okay by going by myself just for the experience of it. But still, by looking around and seeing all of these people who are not alone, I was feeling kind of down about that. And I get it. I get it. I explained it all in the article as well. It is our human nature to have someone around that we really like, that we all of our progress, everything that we enjoy is better when we can share it with someone else. When we only have ourselves to share that experience with, it's not that intense. But when you have someone who cares about you, who will also like that you had this experience, who will be excited about you, that becomes just tens of times better. And I think that's just the common sense. But at the same time, there are periods when you just don't have anyone. And that may be either because your mindset is not right and you kind of rejecting all of the chances that you get, you're not going for what you want. Maybe you prefer some comfortable life for the moment and don't want to spend any effort. Maybe you're staying at home and that is comforting for you. Maybe you're focused on business or your work time and don't. There, there are a lot of causes why you can be by yourself and not have any close connections at some point in your life. Maybe you didn't have them at all whenever you are watching this. I think it can be even independent of age. I wasn't having any close connections at my 20s. I know people who didn't have something really going for them till like 25 or something. It depends. It depends, of course, but there are moments like that. And I'm not saying that it's a thing that should be fully embraced and okay, you should go and live by yourself. You should embrace this lonely lifestyle and people doesn't matter and all of this societal bullshit that we need someone else is bullshit, in fact. No. I think that is the beautiful thing that we can share something, some of our experiences with other people. That is awesome. But when you can't, in these moments while you are searching for these people, or just don't really care at that time, but feel a little bit lonely, switch the perspective. Look at something that you can enjoy. What this lonely time, what this being by yourself gives you now. It can be these travel experiences that I mentioned, because traveling by yourself, it's something that I would advise anyone to do in their life and not, well, I would advise exploratory travel. So when you go to some city, meet random people there, or you can just not meet random people but have random experiences, tours, or just go by yourself exploring some uh, places there, some parks, some live um, how city looks like and all of this stuff. I'm not talking about going and just lying on a beach for a week. Though I haven't tried it yet, so I may be biased at that, but I would feel that experience when you actually go for every day you decide like 5, 10 times a day what you want to do in that moment and you go for it. And you don't have anyone else to tell you what you want, what you should or shouldn't do. You don't have to consult with anyone else. And traveling with someone can be awesome. My first experience traveling and my first 3 experiences of traveling were with someone else, even more, I think. And they were amazing. But traveling by yourself is an entirely different kind of thing, and I believe it is something that everyone should do at their time, at least once, just to see how it feels like. There are another thing, like if you just having a hard time accepting that for now you don't have anyone close by. I understand you completely. I am in this state myself. I had a period of time when I really didn't care about having anyone else. I was fully focused on my self-improvement. I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with just having schedules, having some type of progression, anything that just distracted me from any social life. I didn't focus on social life. I had some dating prospects in the background who didn't turn out to be successful, but that was literally like 10% of my effort. Everything else was focused on myself. The gym, the dieting, the photography project, the work improvement, reading books, sleeping, all of this stuff, even improving my skincare and all of this, going to specialists, like all of this stuff. And what I was talking about. So yeah, I had this periods of time when I didn't really care. Now I'm at the period when I like self-improvement, but I would really fucking like to have someone in my life close by. And I have some awesome friends that already is a bonus, but it's still a little bit not enough because there are not enough connection and intimacy in my life with someone I can really relate to. There are awesome people right now in my lives, even in dating. I'm not talking anything bad about them. I enjoy it immensely. It's just not my end goal, and I would like a glimpse of my end goal from time to time for at least a while. And so I feel like I'm missing out on here. I'm missing out this immense connection, intimacy, and I was feeling a little bit down, and I can understand how it feels like. But it doesn't serve any purpose to just completely feel that way. You notice that. You notice that you don't like this current state of things, and you know that something needs to change. And you're probably taking actions, or if you're not, just even thinking about it is an action by itself, but you will like just go outside and try to convince yourself to talk to someone or to meet some people if something like if that's what you really want. I am using apps for that. I sometimes talk to people on the street, or I'm going to meetups as well, trying to meet people as well. And that is the actions. But they it's like you can get 100% input, but you're not. How does it quote go? I heard it in from Andy from Kill Your Inner Loser, but I think it's from someone else as well. It's like you are entitled to the input, to the things that you do, to your effort, but you're not entitled to the outcome. So that means that you can only affect what you are doing, what actions you are doing, but it may not be successful. You may not get the result that you want for a while. Maybe you need to improve yourself more. Maybe it's just a numbers game that you need to wait. Maybe you need to be patient. Maybe it's just really not available for now and it will be available for a couple of years later. Maybe it was available before and now it's really hard to do. I'm not telling it's impossible, but it will be really hard. So it all comes down to patience and numbers game, I think, with every goal. But it doesn't matter. That is a really different topic here. What I'm talking about, while you are doing these actions, while you are working on the things that you want, on having people that you want in your life, partners, friends, maybe even business partners, someone like that, there is a it's you're already working on it. There is no point to adding misery to that. There is no point to suffer about feeling lonely. And that is okay if you do that. That is okay if you're feeling bad. Don't fight it, just accept that you sometimes can feel really lonely and sad, and that is okay. That is just a human thing to do. But at the same time, don't feel that you have to feel that way all the time. If you're lonely, you don't have to feel lonely. You, in fact, can try to reframe this as something positive, as something that as find some opportunities that you can do. You can go over them in your head, or you can even write that down. Like, for example, make a list of 20, 30 things that you can do while you are being alone that you wouldn't be able to do while with someone else, while having someone else in your life. And look forward to them. Just find some things that really add into your life, and that will make you feel better. You will still work on finding people that you want in your life, but at the same time, you won't feel miserable. You may even practice that you will enjoy these lonely moments, these moments by yourself, because it's a time for reflection, for unique experiences that you won't have with someone else. There are some things like that. That's why I advocate for everyone to have some lonely time for themselves, because is required to process some things in the mind. It just requires you to be by yourself. It's not possible to do some of the mental stuff work while having company, while not being completely by yourself. It is just impossible. I think so. Maybe it is. Maybe it is for some people. It's definitely not for me, at least for some really important themes. So just try to find something that you can really like about this lonely time, and don't be afraid of it. Again, you can feel sad, you can feel bad about this. You can feel frustrated, you can feel angry about this, you can feel prideful that, oh, I deserve to have people in my life, I'm an awesome person. And that is something that is already better than like being in shame somewhere, like I don't deserve people. That is already better, that's an actionable state, and you will take action from it. But you're not required to do that. You can accept that you are alone right now and turn it to the positive. Make a win out of that. Don't focus on the things that you're missing in life. Focus on the things that this loneliness gives you right now. Why does it make you better? Focus on that. And you can find that you will actually enjoy these moments, which will happen over the course of your life, even if you will have some constant partners and friends. You'll still be alone from time to time, and having this assuredness that you can handle it, that you are actually enjoy the times that you get to be alone, that you get to work on something that only you want, that doesn't concern anyone else. It can be really awesome thing, and you will not be afraid of being alone, and that will give you even more fulfilling relationships as well. If you are afraid, you will focus on learning how to be alone, and you wouldn't want other people to be around you. That may be from time to time. That is happening with one of my friends, I think, for now. But it doesn't mean that it will be with you for all of your life. It can be for a couple of years that you will kind of run away from all of the people and will focus on yourself fully. Then that is the thing that you really needed to do, that was just waiting for the opportunity to happen. But you will not run away from people. You will come back to them. You will not become a monk living in some woods if you wouldn't really want that. You will get tired of it after a couple of years, even if you try. I think that is the truth for almost all of you. There are exceptions. I am not one of them, so I cannot relate. Sorry, monks. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, that yeah, feeling lonely is not as bad thing that we imagine. I think with everyone around us telling us that we have to have people around our lives, there are literal societies, countries where people cannot comprehend the concept of being alone. It needs to be like, especially traditional countries, uh, which I think well, the most countries I've been to were traditional, so I am really close to this concept of people just being afraid to be alone. It is funny to see how people just think that, oh, it is important that at this age I will have a family, so I will never be able to be alone. There will be always someone with me, so in my old age there will always be someone with me that can support me. No, you don't ask. If you're afraid of all these things, just ask yourself, what is that really the hardest thing that you can experience? Is it really as bad as you think it is? I think most people don't question it. So if you're listening to this already, probably you have the ability to question that. Probably you have the ability to investigate these stories and find something that you can enjoy from being alone for a while. That's gotta be it. I'm gonna end up here, and I like this. I like this, what I talked about for 20 minutes. Awesome. I didn't know that. For me, it felt like 10 minutes. So, okay. There is an article that I wrote literally an hour ago. Read it. There it has some more context. Maybe I will update it in the future, even if you it can be useful as well. So if you feel lonely, try to read that as well. Find something that you enjoy, and as always, try to have fun in your life. It will add a lot of happiness.